Right, you're watching TVC Breakfast. Let's head into the papers now and let's review what the headlines are across the country. Now, we'll begin with this Nigeria. This Nigeria says APC PDP at war over calls for Atiku's arrest. Pick up PDP presidential candidate in 72 hours over criminal breaches. Keyamo urges EFCC, ICPC, and CCB. All right. Tinubu, not Atiku, should withdraw from race, says Ologunagba, and the PDP spokesperson. All right, he's a PDP spokesperson. Now we have Leadership newspaper. That's where we go next. And it says, Atiku Tinubu renew war over alleged corruption. Ashewaju asks EFCC to probe arrest ex-vice president. And you are distracting Nigerians from core issues, Atiku replies. Will be at Chatham House, vows to dismantle the cabal. Okay, these are issues on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. Now let's go to Blueprint now. Blueprint says 39 days to presidential polls. Tinubu Atiku fight dirty over alleged SPV scandal. And the Keyamo writes EFCC, APC calls for ex-VP's arrest, prosecution, seeks withdrawal from race. Okay, you see all this on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. The Daily Times is next now. It says, Obi at Chatham House, my presidency will dismantle inefficiency and pledges to stop transactional policies in government, and explains how his administration plans to attract investors to Nigeria. All this you see on the front page of the Daily Times. Kemi.
And the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele is in the news, at least from the papers that I have here with me. Looking at Daily Trust now, where the CBN Governor Emefiele resumes. He resumed on Monday amid fear of arrest, Daily Trust says, and adds that DSS denies invading the CBN. An expert is quoted as saying that the tension over arrest unhealthy for economy is coming amidst inflation dropping to 21.34% as the Monetary Policy Committee is scheduled to meet next week. Nigerian News Direct is next. Controversy, it says, trails Emefiele's resumption as DSS denies invasion of CBN's facility. Finally is Business Day, saying CBN, on the CBN matter still, that DSS to quiz bank chief executive officers over FX allocations, and adds that Godwin Emefiele resumed office ahead of the MPC meeting. This according to the Apex Bank. Mike.
All right. I think let's, gentlemen of the press, let's look at some of the headlines here that are getting everyone talking since yesterday. The Joint Media Directorate of the APC Presidential Campaign Council addressed a world press conference yesterday. And part of the crux of that was the issue of the arrest, or call for the arrest of the PDP presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar. And they drew attention to the issues of corruption and the issues of SPVs. And that was a fallout of one of Atiku's aides, Michael Achimugu, who in fact, a lot of his short videos have been, going viral, explaining and revealing some of the emails, some of the conversations, phone conversation, and so, between him and the former vice president. And that has got Nigerians talking.
What you see, you know. What you hear, you know. You cannot argue against the facts of the census. That's what we saw about the video. Would you say that was not Atiku's voice? Atiku has not come out to say it's not my voice. Would you say it was not a fact? He should come out and say, no, there was nothing like that. Special purpose vehicle. When you first hear, you think that it is the kind of car that we used to carry a president. This one is armored car, armored tank, what's special? They also call it SPEs, special purpose entities, which means that when I have a company and I want another company that should not bear the liability of this company I'm having, it's legal. It's a legal entity that you can have that company other than the main company that will bear some responsibilities. But everything has to follow law. But that is what the white man created. But what we have done is now to turn the SPV to another vehicle. We put fake engine, fake cover, fake key lock, fake everything. Everything is not even fake. It's not even Tokumbo. It's fake. No, so that when the other car is running, you don't know, you can just go and just hit and have accident. So what happened now is that Atiku's SPV had an accident. That's what happened. Because we are always trying to subvert what systems have made pure. You sometimes create a big company, and when you create a big company, you say, okay, I am Sam Inc. And Sam Inc. is producing computers. But because of the heavy responsibilities of this, I want to create another Samo company. So this Samo company is its own. It has its own liabilities and so on. But it is legal and it's understood that it is connected to Sam Inc. And if I take money from here to that, it's going to be put in record. But according to Atiku, nobody should know that that company is an SPV. It's an SPV, but it's an SPV that nobody can connect me with. So that is how we subvert what is good. That is why David Hume said the other time, he said, the corruption of the best produces the worst. Okay. That is what has happened. So what we have here is a situation where the APC folks are saying, if you were right, if you were free to criticize our candidate and you are not able to prove it about drugs, now we need to shine our eyes on you, your candidate, and tell us, is it true or is it not true that you took 100 million naira bribe from Plateau State under Deriye and you put it in an SPV and that the vehicle has now gotten into an accident? Let us now retrieve what you hid inside the SPV.
And these are truly weighty allegations. And on the other hand, the PDP has also, gone ahead to respond and accuse the parties, the APC's flag bearer now of, what he says are other, allegations or other crimes. But, well, for the PDP, for the APC, they have said they are going to channel this, evidence they have to the appropriate institutions for them to carry out the needed investigations. These, like I said, are weighty, and I think our security agencies, the law enforcement agencies, really need to work on this, because it's not just about Atiku alone, Atiku Abubakar alone. They even went ahead, the party went ahead to involve his principal at the time, talking about a former president, Obasanjo, and saying that the proceeds of this monies have now been gone to their individual private universities, for the two men. So this, we haven't heard the last of. Obviously, there's going to be, more fallout from this, but this is definitely not a political statement. These are truly weighty allegations that need, for people to, unveil, bring it out, bring it all out into the open. This evidence, let us indeed peruse them, and ascertain that indeed there is something against Atiku Abubakar, because these are questions that needs to be answered.
Okay. Yeah. Now, the point there is, Festus Keyamo yesterday he said that they're giving 72 hours for Atiku Abubakar to be arrested. Yes. But the point there is, at times like this where we have less than a month or so to the election, everybody is going to read political meanings. Let us create a scenario where Atiku is arrested right now. Of course, the whole of PDP and all the supporters will cry foul. Yes. Isn't it?
Exactly.
So is it likely that he will be arrested?
No. I don't think they expect DSS to arrest Atiku.
Okay.
When things like this happen, there are two sets of judgments. you have the legal judgment, and let me quote Jefferson during the struggle for American independence. He said, "We are appealing to the tribunal of world opinion." So the other one is the optics. They're asking the people, focus, make your judgment on this man. So it is more like that. So they have to make the play. It's like Messi, who is making a feint. I'm going this way. No, it's this way I'm going. Then the man falls on the other side, and Messi with the ball. You know that kind of. So they use the legality as the smokescreen to focus the attention
on what
of
they
the
call the
electorate
bigger picture.
on the morality of the issue. So that is what is going on. So you have a contention of two legitimacies, or will I say in the language of the Middle Ages, the two luminaries. And we were talking about the two luminaries, the luminary, the one of God, and the one of the earth, the two luminaries. Well, we have two legitimacies, two luminaries, the luminary of the law and the luminary of public opinion. So that if the law does not work, the opinion of the public will work. Because actually, it is more the opinion of the public that will determine who goes to the votes, who takes the votes, and who doesn't.
Right. I agree to that extent that the power is indeed to the people. But on another way of looking at it is that, you know, how far can the court of public opinion go? How far can we go? Can we wield that in every situation? Yes, in Nigeria we can. We are known sometimes, you know, perhaps we forget or we bury somewhere. We know these things, but I think I would beg to differ to the extent that, like I said earlier on, these are weighty, you know, allegations. Yes, the timing also, you know, is curious, and of course there is an end game that the APC is after, and apparently, you know, that's Sam is correct about that. That of course, the timing is also strategic. And if we also recall during the presidential elections in the U.S., Hillary Clinton, there were allegations that Trump was wielding at the time about her, you know, compromising her position as Secretary of State, then using emails, official emails. And when people were dissecting why she lost, it was said that, you know, those discrepancies that came out, even though I don't think anything happened, the security agencies didn't come, you know, after her on account of that slight. But, you know, people were saying that was part of the reason, you know, why she lost. You know, the face she had been presenting of somebody who is, you know, above any wrong, and then coming to think about it, you know, having found that you did. And I think she made a statement to that effect about what warranted her decision at the time. But of course, the power, you know, and really, it's really interesting to see how the power of the people is really reflecting. I wish it can continue, you know, even beyond the election, that the people will have, you know, the final say eventually. And if the people demand that we want more to this, even after the election, you know, by all means, they should have their say.
The case of Hillary was interesting because even James Comey in his book noted that he knew that the revelations will affect the fortunes. And he was, at that time, following the coattail of Trump, who later had to dump him. Yeah. You know, eventually, that's James Comey. Now, the pulse of public opinion is very important. But we should also we cannot undermine the power of the rule of law and morality and values in an election. So that is the point they're also saying, that even if the law, because of optics, does not go after Atiku, the people should realize that you don't want to put a person who stole your money and hid it in a fake vehicle to come and rule you anymore or govern you. So that's the whole point.
All right.
So the rule of law should be followed. Right. But the rule, because sometimes it is not all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient according to the Bible. So they may say, okay, it is lawful to do it, but is it expedient to do it? Right. That is the question.
So we'll leave this in the minds to Nigerians to decide as they listen, as they hear,
as to what kind of leaders they want.
So they decide how they want to judge this issue, you know, in the kind of vehicle that they want to, you know, drive in going into the next dispensation.
It is Atiku's unconscious confessional.